Joining me now is Georgia Congressman and member of the House Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committees, Rich McCormick. Congressman, good to see you. Do you agree with the Wall Street Journal's writing? How would you assess the president's foreign policy with all these hotspots across the world right now?
Well, if you contrast and compare, I think Biden had the absolute weakest foreign policy of any president in my lifetime, at least. Basically, this concession, giving Afghanistan back to the Taliban after 20 years, $2 trillion, thousands of lives lost, and we gave it back to the same people who took it from. Compare and contrast that to President Trump, who's basically showed the Monroe Doctrine is actually prevalent. It's applicable to today's society that if we lose our sphere of influence in Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, Greenland, which is really being courted by China and Russia, we will be in big problems into the future. So this is having foresight. Imagine that, a government that's not just reactionary, but actually being proactive. That's a good thing, and we should be applauding that.
The president is now calling on Congress to codify what he is calling the Great Healthcare Plan, aimed at lowering costs and delivering money directly to the people. He just unveiled this on Thursday, and it includes most favored nation deals to get the same low prices for prescription drugs that people in other countries pay, make more drugs available over the counter, ending extra taxpayer-funded subsidy payments to insurance companies, and instead send the money directly to eligible Americans to allow them to buy and choose their health insurance, and require health insurance companies to publish rate and coverage comparisons up front and in plain English. You are also a doctor. I want to get your thoughts on the president's health care plans. Finally, we're seeing somebody take some notice to these incredible prices that we're seeing in health care.
I think President Trump's right on track. Exposing this, making sure it's transparent, make sure people know what they're actually getting involved in, not just the insurance policy, which has to be stated in plain language. This is what you're covered for. This is how much we're going to give you. This is your deductible. This is your copay. But also allowing people to pay cash for drugs. Instead of paying the deductible, then getting your insurance billed, then them doing a 10% upcharge, giving you the more expensive drug, and you end up with a $40,000 drug instead of a $400 drug. These are all important decisions we've never been able to make because the insurance companies, the PBMs, and the pharmaceutical companies have all been in on it together. And that's why they make 4 of the top 10 Fortune 500 companies in America, 7 of the top 20, and they've been ripping us off for years. It's a $5 trillion industry in America per year, and we're not getting out of it what we put into it.
Well, I know that there are a lot of middlemen, if you will, within the price of prescription drugs and just medicines in general. So who's ripping us off specifically? The insurance companies, the pharmacy benefit managers? Which middlemen are ripping us off?
So those are integrated already, vertically integrated, so that they use the PBMs, they get special discounts and kickbacks. So, for example, let's say your kid has precocious puberty, which means that they're getting hormones way too early in their life. We have to block those. I'm not talking about trans or anything like that. I'm talking a real medical condition. A pediatrician recently told me about a case where the insurance company would not cover the cheaper drug. That was 1/10 the price. And would only cover the expensive one, which they got a kickback from, even higher priced than the standard in Europe. And then they get the kickback and you have to pay the copay. You're paying 10 times more for a copay. They're paying way for it. And then they're able to add the 10% profit to their insurance premiums. It is the biggest ripoff in the world because they're not going to cover the normal, cheaper drug because they don't get the kickback. They get outrageous profits. Their profitability is so far up since the Affordable Care Act. They have learned how to build the system. It's absolutely criminal, and we should be outraged and do something about it. Transparency is a big step in the right direction.
Wow, that's incredible. Meanwhile, we will be watching all of that, but we are approaching this January 30th deadline to fund government. The Senate has just passed a trio of funding bills, but progressive Democrats are threatening to withhold support for other key spending bills, in particular Homeland Security, until there are tougher rules in place, they say, for ICE officers and their operations. Watch this.
Our caucus members will oppose all funding for immigration enforcement in any appropriation bills until meaningful reforms are enacted to end militarized policing practices. We cannot and we should not continue to fund agencies that operate with impunity.
So what's your take here? Are we going to see the Democrats upend the president's agenda?
Well, it's not surprising to see the squad actually talking about defunding the police again. The squad has been the most outrageous, far left, They've supported this illegal immigration from Somalia and other places. They've supported, they don't even care about the pilfering. They don't care about robbing Americans of billions of dollars. People who remain on welfare, remain on the government's just suckling and not doing anything to get out of poverty. Compare and contrast that with people who come here from Nigeria, who within one generation are millionaires from a similar part of the world with the similar disadvantages. This is coddling them, trying to get them to become Democrats for life through socialistic, communistic practices, because that's what they want. It gives them power. It's not good for the people. It's not good for the mentality, and it should be stopped immediately. Hopefully, America's paying close attention.
Well, I mean, it's more than that, right? I mean, they're upset that there's an investigation into Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell right now, and the Democrats said they're going to stop any progress on any more nominees getting confirmed. So it could have an effect on the president's agenda.
Hopefully there's enough Democrats and moderates that understand the game that's being played. I think the last thing we want to do is shut down the government again. I don't think it would be good for either party, but the Democrats suffered as much, if not more than us in the last shutdown. If they do it again, they are going to take the blame. I think they keep on walking into their own disaster. They pick all the wrong fights, defunding police, transgenders, males in female sports, opening the border, robbing the taxpayers of their future children's funds. Those are not good topics for them, yet they keep on doubling down. I hope they continue that. They will lose.
All right. We will leave it there, and we'll continue to watch your work, Congressman. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this weekend.